We've just had a big relaxing sort of, well, not relaxing, not even remotely relaxing, but a big sigh of relief was the word I was going for. Liverpool beating West Ham, finally putting one hand, if not one and a half hands maybe, on the Premier League title. It's been a really difficult watch, that one, because Liverpool were 1-0 up quite early on in the first half, a really good moment from Mo Salah, and then after that it was actually quite a difficult game for Liverpool. West Ham hitting the bar 2-3 times, I'm not quite sure, but they played really, really well, West Ham, and they probably deserved something from the game. In hindsight, I think the ball coming in across on the, whatever it was, the 87th minute, Virgil van Dijk smashes the ball off Andy Robertson's shins and it goes in. Liverpool then find themselves level going into the last few minutes, and I think if we had dropped points there, I don't think it would have let Arsenal back in, but it would have just continued this narrative, this ridiculous narrative that it's only been Liverpool have been a poor Premier League champion and Liverpool are limping over the line, which I think is accurate to a degree, but just we don't want to feed that narrative. We want Liverpool wrapping the title up with a few games to go. And thankfully we did get the job done. Virgil van Dijk going up the other end and getting the header off the corner in the last couple of minutes to win it for us. And now we move on. Now we move on to Newcastle against Manchester United. Newcastle will have seen that Chelsea dropped points this weekend, that Nottingham Forest dropped points this weekend, teams above them. And now they have a big opportunity to really put the cat amongst the pigeons. You know, Newcastle could be playing Champions League football. Maybe should expect to be playing Champions League football next season. Do we think that Newcastle will step up today with Eddie Howe being in the hospital, for example? Is that going to be giving them a point to prove, extra motivation, given their manager's not quite not there with them today? Obviously, Jason Tyndall's the guy on the touchline today for Newcastle. I'm sure he'll be relishing that in many ways. But yeah, hey, listen, we'll see. We will see how we get on today. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping we could do with Newcastle sticking 3 or 4 past these, really, really sapping morale and setting them up for that big European Cup exit on Thursday night. Come on, Leon. We're hoping for Leon on Thursday. But yeah, this is going to be a big game to watch. So hopefully you're sticking with me as we see how United get on. It's about 10 minutes to kick off, there or thereabouts. The teams have just come out for they're just about to head in actually for warming up. But we have seen the teams, the lineup, so I'll share them with you now if you're interested. For Newcastle, they have Nick Pope in goal, Kieran Trippier at right back with Livramento on the other side at left back, Dan Burn and Fabian Schär at centre half, so pretty much as you'd expect. The midfield three is, again, as you'd expect, Bruno Guimaraes, Sandro Tonali and Joe Linton. And then the front three of Murphy, Isak and Harvey Barnes. So lots and lots for Newcastle fans to be excited about in that team. That midfield three, I think, is up there with one of the best in the Prem. Isak, obviously one of the best strikers in the Prem. I think Fabian Schär is criminally underrated, but he's just getting on. And yeah, I think Newcastle have got a lot. There's a lot to like about that Newcastle side. For Manchester United, they've made some changes, as it's been known, as we've seen in the news. Andre Onana has been dropped. He's not even with the squad today. Now, there was rumours that was because of his performance in midweek. But apparently Ruben Amorim has said that it's actually due to, taking him out of the firing line. His head hasn't been quite right. His wife was apparently robbed a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, it's just to kind of give him a bit of a break and let him recover, and maybe he gets back to it in midweek against Lyon. You would expect him to start against Lyon in midweek, wouldn't you? So, but he's been taken out of the firing line today, and it's quite a changed Manchester United lineup in many ways. The back three has Victor Lindelof Nazir Mazraoui and Lenny Yoro. The full-backs, or wing-backs, I guess, are Harry Amas on the left, Diogo Dalot at right-back, Manuel Ugarte and Christian Eriksen are sitting, and then it's that front three of Garnacho, Fernandes, Xerxes. So, I guess we'll see. How they get on today. The United bench has Shaw, Mount, Mainu, Harry Maguire, Rasmus Højlund, Aidan Heaven, Patrick Dorgu, Casemiro, and Tom Heaton. For Newcastle, Anthony Gordon is on the bench, which is surprising. I know he's been out injured, he's been suspended for a few, but I would have thought he would have just come straight back into the team. I guess they don't want to demotivate Harvey Barnes. So Anthony Gordon is back on the bench. That's big news for Newcastle. Callum Wilson's on there as well. Matt Targett, Asula, Neve, Lewis Miley, of course, Sean Longstaff, Emil Kraft, and ex-Manchester United goalkeeper Martin Dubravka. Regan, are you a Newcastle fan? Are you a United fan? I'm a Liverpool fan, actually. I'm a Liverpool fan, but I watch all football. I watch everyone. Every single game that's on, that's every kick-off time in the Prem, I always watch a game. So if you'd like to join, thank you for the follow, Regan. I appreciate that. Thank you. Are you a Newcastle fan or a United fan? Let me know. We have all sorts of fans in the chat who come and watch us regularly. He's a secret United fan. I'm not a United fan. Hey, listen, you say I'm a secret United fan. Rubes is saying I'm an Everton fan. I can't really win. Regan, sadly United. Hey, listen, United have got a long way back to the top, but never be sad about supporting your team, mate. Never be sad about it. United are a big club. They'll always be a big club. They'll get back eventually. I hope it's not for a while, but you will get back eventually. You've got a big game in midweek against Lyon. How do you think you're going to get on against them? Do you think United can make it through against Lyon in the Europa League? And do you think Andre Onana will start that one, actually? Let me just go back through the chat and catch up with everyone. I've not seen what people have said. Kane, I can't see us winning this one. I think 3-1 Newcastle. I don't know if there's going to be that many goals in it. I guess we'll see. Max, come on United. Forest, from a Forest fan, is that? Edward, I'm going bold. I'm going a 2-1 United win. Goodness me. Reece, 3 more wins than you win the Prem, if I'm correct, or is it 2? It's 2, I believe, Reece. I think it's 2. I think if we win against Leicester, we've got Leicester next week, and then we've got Spurs at Anfield. And if we beat them 2, if we pick up 6 points, then Arsenal can't come back. Oh my goodness me. The EFL Trophy final, if you haven't seen it, watch that free kick from Peterborough against Birmingham. That's a big surprise. Oh, both goals. Posh. I tell you what, seriously, if you won't see 2 better goals all weekend. You won't see 2 better goals all weekend. Spurs, Posh have just scored 2 absolute worldies against Birmingham in the EFL Trophy final. Incredible finishes. So I think Liverpool can win the title against Spurs in a couple of weeks, which I'm sure Arsenal fans will love, won't they? They'll be saying, well, the Spurs have done that on purpose. They've dropped points on purpose. Reece, top 3 team anthems in the Prem. Well, I'll tell you which one isn't in the top 3. It's certainly not North London Forever. Did anyone see Anne Hathaway singing North London Forever after the Real Madrid game? Oh, do you know what? She's a cracking actress and she's a beautiful woman as well. But my God, that gave me the ick. That was so bad, wasn't it? If you've not seen it, go and look on Twitter or wherever you find it, Instagram. Anne Hathaway singing North London Forever after the Arsenal Real Madrid game. Unbelievable. Regan, I think Mainu should have started. He's on the bench, isn't he? Yeah, I am surprised. I am surprised that Mainu hasn't started. I am very surprised. Really surprised, actually. Abdul at Premier League Dad, good to see you, mate. Ben, Push My EFL Club. Is that your EFL club, Posh? It's like Peterborough or Birmingham. Who have you missed? Regan, did you see Wolves 4, Spurs 2? Yes, I did. Yeah, I saw that it had happened. I haven't seen any of the goals yet, so I have not caught up on that. I'll have to have a look after the game and see what I made of that. But yeah, it's a big defeat for Spurs. And then obviously the big defeat before that against Chelsea, and they're going to have to... Listen, Ange Postecoglou, the whole season for Spurs just rests entirely on that second leg against Eintracht Frankfurt. If they get past Eintracht, then they've got a good chance of maybe making, the semi-final, the final, and then maybe winning the Europa League. That would just be an astonishing season. It goes from being the worst season imaginable to an unbelievable season. It's literally that much of a knife edge, isn't it? Walking in a Keegan wonderland. Kevin Keegan, the Messiah. Why are they showing Keegan? Why is Keegan's stuff all over? Have I missed something? Has Kevin Keegan? Have I missed something? Is it his birthday or something? No, it's not his birthday. What's going on with him? Oh, it's like a flag day. Apparently, it's a war flags are rumoured to be planning a memorable display to honour Kevin Keegan ahead of Newcastle United's clash with Manchester United. I think it's just like a dedication thing. I panicked then. I thought I'd missed Kevin Keegan being poorly or, God forbid, any worse. Premier League Dad, do you think we beat Leicester? Yes, I do, mate. Diabolical opinion. And just been sacked. No, he's not been sacked. North London Forever is on par with You'll Never Walk Alone. Alright, mate. Reese, you're rapidly starting to irk some of the chat with these posts, I'm sure. Callum, I expect a massive 5-0 against Spurs in 2 weeks. Posh My EFL team like their owner. Who's their owner? Who's Posh's owner? Didn't Peterborough have had Darren Ferguson as the manager for years? That's an odd choice for you. That's a very odd choice. A million rage bait, yeah, exactly. Right, we're nearly at kickoff. Joshua Zirkzee spearheading the Manchester United attack here. I mean, funnily enough, they've got Eriksen playing further forward in more of a left-wing position. Can't see that. Sky Sports haven't got that right. Harry Maguire lover Virgil van Gogh. Isn't he just? Isn't he just? I could kiss the man. I mean, I won't, but I could. Stuttgart getting beat against Werder Bremen. Saw that one coming. Got to be careful with them Bundesliga games if you're backing them. Them Bundesliga games throw up some curveballs every so often. Werder Bremen. Real Madrid are still 1-0 up against Alaves. They are down to 10 men if you haven't seen that. Kylian Mbappe getting sent off for a straight red card in the first half. I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen what it was for, but it was initially a yellow card that went to VAR and got overturned to a red. Yeah, no, I know you like their owner, not the manager. I'm just saying, who's their owner? Let's have a look. Peterborough owner. Dara McAntony, Irish author. Oh no! Oh, I see him on TalkSport and all. He's a numpty, him. He's an absolute numpty. Oh, Dara Cantoni. Nah, he's a numpty, him. He's an absolute numpty. Right, hang on a minute. We're off. The game's off and I've not even started the clock here. Christ. Oh my God. Is he onside? Oh Christ. Joe Linton's just stuck it in the net. Thank God I was offside. Not even started the clock. That would have been a fast start, wouldn't it? A very fast start. Yeah, he was miles offside. Miles off. Right, the clock's all synced up now for those that are interested. And we're underway. Newcastle against Manchester United. Here we go. Get your predictions in the chat. Let me know what you're thinking about this one. Do we think Manchester United can get anything today? I don't even think Man United can move in the table, can they? If Newcastle do get a win, for what it's worth, they would go to 4th with a game in hand. They'd go above Chelsea, above City, and they'd be a point behind Nottingham Forest with a game in hand. Actually, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that Newcastle could catch Arsenal. It's really not. Really not. Earnest 1-1 draw, you think? I think Amarim's coming here and thinking, do you know what? If we can get away with a draw, we've done well. Yeah, point here is probably the best result they can hope for. Which is an odd position for a Manchester United team to be in, I've got to say. I never thought that I would say that about a Man United team coming to St James's Park, and maybe that's just reflective of how the two clubs have kind of diverged in recent years, isn't it? Newcastle have gone completely the opposite way since their new owners have come in, and you know, in spite of all the money that their new owners have got, I still think their new owners have ran them very, very well. They've been frugal while still being, you know, investing in the right areas. They've put their money where their mouth is. They've spent a good bit of money. If not, I'm sure they'd like to spend more money. But they have spent a fair bit, and they've spent it in the right areas. The club have won a League Cup. They got to a cup final before that as well, of course. So there's been sustained progress. They got in the Champions League for the first time. They're going to get in the Champions League, I would imagine, this season as well. So, you know, Newcastle's owners have done all the right things, and Manchester United's owners seem to have done all the wrong things. And I include Ineos in that, not just the Glazers. Oh, my goodness me. Isak. It wasn't Isak, it was Murphy. And I saw Isak open his body up and pass it, but I thought it was Murphy who'd done that. But it was Murphy who picks the ball up. It's actually really, really poor from Joshua Zirkzee, who's come deep. He's give the ball away, and Murphy, with a shot from distance there, with his right foot, drills it, and it's inches wide of Altay Bayindir's far post. That really could have been a goal there for Newcastle. Very, very close. Very, very close. Yeah, it'll be intriguing to see a couple of things today, I guess. Firstly, how Bayindir does. Do we think that Bayindir realistically could nail down the starting spot at Manchester United? Either, you know, maybe long term, do we think he could do it? Could he stay and be Man United manager? Could he impress the Man United manager sufficiently that he is his number one between now and the end of the season and for next season? Is that a possibility for Bayindir? Or do we think Onana goes straight back in on Thursday night against Lyon? And that'll be the first thing. Can Bayindir impress? And then the other thing will be, how does Harry Amas do? Because there's a lot thought of Harry Amas at Manchester United and around Manchester United. He's obviously very well thought of, big reputation. United are short of a left back as well, aren't they? I know they've got Dorgu there, but I don't personally think that Dorgu's been a terrific signing. He's been no more than okay. And if a youth product came through the Man United Academy in the same way that, say, Lewis Skelly has at Arsenal, if Harry Amas was able to do something like that for United, it would be very timely. And I don't think Dorgu then gets a look in. So, lots thought of Harry Amas. Can he impress today on that left-hand side? Regan, we are in for some game. Do you think so? It's always a good game at St James's Park at Newcastle and United. Nearly always, I can't remember too many where there's been few goals. It's nearly always 3 or 4 in it. But I do just think it's coming to the end of the season. Newcastle probably a little bit, maybe not winding down, but United certainly are, aren't they? United have got nothing to play for here. That was good play by Bayindir. Ball to his feet, and he gets it out to Dalot on this right-hand side, while under pressure as well. And that's going to be something he'll be looking for, isn't it, Amorim? He'll be looking for his goalkeeper to be calm on the ball. Yeah, Eriksen isn't playing further forward. That Sky graphic at the start, that just goes to show you that Sky don't know what they're talking about. Christian Eriksen is playing deep. He's playing in kind of a number 6 next to Agate. He's certainly not playing further forward on the left flank. I did think that would have been weird if that was the case. Poor play there by Newcastle. Good pressing by Manchester United. They're now running at the back line. Dalot, if you can get this right. It's poor. Really poor. Oh, Xerxes. United claiming a handball there. I don't think you're going to get it for that. There's a claim for the handball. It's getting this game is just speeding up a little bit now. Ball played into Isak. That's a throw in. There's a check here for Manchester United for a potential penalty. Dalot gets the cross all wrong, and Xerxes takes the ball down. You're not getting an handball for that. You're not getting an handball for that. Behave yourself. Behave yourself. Absolute nonsense. You can't get an handball for that. Eintracht Frankfurt 1, Heidenheim 0. Fabian Schär just got done there for a foul by Joshua Xerxes. He has started to impress a little bit, hasn't he, Joshua Xerxes? He's started to kind of come into his own a little bit. I'm not sure if he's ever truly going to be Manchester United's starting centre-forward. If they've got any ambitions to kind of kick on and be in and around the top 6 next season, Xerxes not going to be that. It's almost a bit disrespectful, isn't it, when I hear about United fans talking about, and other people, by the way, myself included at times, we get carried away with what Manchester United used to be, and almost assuming that next season the goal is that they finish in or around those European places. I just don't think that's going to be the case. Like, maybe this season is an anomaly in that they finished incredibly low. I can't see Manchester United just going like that, just straight back to it. Straight back to finishing in and around that top 6. Can you see that? I certainly can't. I think they've got a lot of work to do. As a whole club, there's a lot of players that will need to be changed there. And there's 2 of them starting today, Eriksson and Lindelof. They won't even be at the club next season. So you have to wonder what's going to happen. Kieran Trippier with the ball in from the free kick for Newcastle. Easy claim by Bayindir. That's what they want to see. More of that. More of that. That gives the defence faith, gives him a bit of confidence, get his hands on the ball. He's come out and claimed a high free kick. Under pressure as well, albeit under pressure from his own player. But he's done all right there, Bayindir. That's good for him. It's good pressure by Manchester United. I'll be honest, Manchester United have started better than I imagined they would. That is wonderful play. Oh my goodness me. If that had gone in then, you would never have heard the end of it from Manchester United. That was Cole and York against Barcelona between Bruno Fernandes and Joshua Zirkzee. That was Cole and York at the Nou Camp in '99. Trust me. That was unbelievable. Christian Eriksen with a little ball in. Bruno Fernandes and Zirkzee. That was fabulous. That was fabulous. If that had gone in, you'd have been talking. That would have been goal of the season, maybe. Fabulous piece of play there by Bruno and Zirkzee. Eriksen back out to Fernandes. Ball in. Pope low down to his near post. Saves it. Come on, Newcastle. Step it up. Can't have these Mancs winning. Can't have these Mancs winning. Still don't think anyone takes the gamble on Isak. If Newcastle get Champions League football, I don't think anyone goes for Isak. Just because of how much it'll cost to get him out of the club. Oh, that's a great ball. Oh, unlucky play that by Newcastle. There was a chance there. Put into a good area. Good cross. It just kind of trickled across the face of goal by Harvey Barnes. Altay Bayindir was nowhere near that. But it's been a good start to the game. We're 13 minutes in. Both teams have had chances. This is the Premier League. This is Premier League football. There's chances for both teams. It's both teams trying to win it. I do think that as well. I said before the game that I thought that I thought Manchester United would maybe sit in and play for a point, and I couldn't see them getting more than that. Actually, United have had some chances. They've done all right in this opening 15 minutes. They've created some opportunities. Korean High Premier League Dad, did you see the Corey last minute winner? I did. I was live for it. I was live for the game. I thought it was I'm sure you was in it. Weren't you in the live yesterday? Yeah, I was in the. We was live for it. We said all game. Everyone in the chat was saying the same. That thought Nottingham Forest played really poorly. It was a really odd performance from them for a team that's supposed to be trying to lay down a marker and get Champions League football. I thought it was actually really negative, and they didn't. It wasn't just about a lack of quality. It was they didn't really go for Everton. And again, I don't want to knock Everton. I don't want to try and take away from their performance. I think it was a good away performance, but it was poor. It was really poor from Forest, and they deserved to get beat. Decore, nicks a great winner on the counter-attack. It was a lovely finish, wasn't it? Opened his body up, feigned to kind of go across the keeper into the far corner and sticks it in at the near post. Fabulous finish. And another player who'll be available on a free this summer. Abdoulaye Decore, he's going to be leaving Everton at the end of his contract, you would have to imagine. And is there another opportunity for him in the Premier League, or does he kind of move to Saudi, do we think? Regan United have been good. I think they have, haven't they? Yeah, they've been better than I thought they would be. I don't know about good, but they have been better than I thought they would be. Given it's a tough place to come, St James's Park. I think United have played all right. That one bit of skill between Fernandes and Xerxes, that bit of play, it's poetry. Absolutely beautiful to watch. Corinne, I reckon this is where Nottingham lose. You think Nottingham fall to bits here, dear? Yeah, you could be right, You could be right. Nottingham are just wavering a little bit, aren't they? They're just wavering a little bit. That's a foul from Dalot, and that might be a yellow card. Yeah. Yellow card for Diogo Dalot. Oh, no, it's Agate. I thought it was Dalot. Agate just came across and chopped the left back down. It was poor from Dalot, actually. Yeah, Livramento gets forward. Nah, it's a free kick. It's a free kick and a foul. Yeah, I think Nottingham do just fall away at this point. I've thought it for quite some time, to be honest. I thought Forest might just start to just run out of steam, and yeah, they haven't been great these last few weeks. Corinne, has Onana been dropped at long last? Yeah, we've had a big debate about that, actually. He has been dropped, but I can't say whether I agree with the decision. The reason that Ruben Amorim gave was that it was the player's kind of, for his mental well-being, that his wife had been mugged a number of weeks ago, and he was feeling a little bit out of sorts, and maybe that was in part explaining why his performances have been maybe a touch more erratic than normal. So he's taking him out of the firing line, maybe to protect him, maybe because, David Ornstein has put a post out saying that the club have effectively informed Onana that, he's not going to be needed at the club next season, and him and his agent should be finding a new club for him. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I think it's going to be difficult for Manchester United to compete next season with Onana in net. And I think it's going to be even more difficult for United if they get rid of him, bizarrely. Because I don't think he's a bad goalkeeper. I just don't think it's working out for him, the move. Maybe there's a variety of reasons for that, but it isn't working out for him at Manchester United. And yeah, I'm not sure that that's the right call from Amorim personally. I know what you're saying, Corin. It's a wise and a brave decision from him. That's what I mean. It is brave, isn't it? There is absolute bravery. It's not just a case of the keeper's playing poorly. Oh, we'll drop him. Once you do that to a goalkeeper, to your number one starting goalkeeper, it's very, very difficult for him to recover from. And it often means the player doesn't really play for the club again, unless a really valid excuse has been given. And in this case, it maybe has. That Onana has, had a traumatic couple of weeks with his wife and stuff, and maybe that's affected him. So I guess we'll see, but the ultimate test will be whether or not he starts on Thursday night at home to Lyon. Or does Bayindir have a sufficiently good game today and Bayindir stays in goal? Because if Bayindir stays in goal, Onana doesn't play for Manchester United again. That's my opinion. That is my opinion. I don't know if it's going to be bearing fruit. If that's accurate, I guess we'll see. 42, that list about better than Jota, it was meant to be Marmoush when I put Jackson twice. You're clutching at straws here. Eriksen's the one chasing through a through ball for Manchester United. Marmoush is a wide player. He's not a centre forward. You can't have Marmoush over Jota. If Bayindir, who I'm presuming is playing, keeps a clean sheet, then he'll be number one. I think that'll be another big call for Amorim, won't it? It's almost... I guess if Newcastle win this today, as everyone expects them to, Newcastle win this by 2 or 3, then it makes Amorim's job a lot easier, doesn't it, to put Onana back in. Makes it a lot easier for him. If Bayindir has a good game today, United maybe get a point, or they only concede 1, or maybe he keeps a clean sheet, or whatever. then it makes Amrim's job incredibly difficult, and he then has to put Bayindir in on Thursday, doesn't he? And that kind of makes it difficult for Onana. Ben, Henry Winter was on TalkSport 20 minutes before kickoff today saying no matter what happens today, Onana will start in Europe on Thursday. Right, okay. Well, maybe that's the case. If that is the case and Henry Winter's got inside knowledge on that, then that'll be interesting to see. But it does just pose a really interesting problem for Ruben Amorim. You put your keeper in here and he plays well, how do you then drop him? Tough, very tough. Amorim will say they're both number one. You can't have two number ones. That's the worst thing in the world from a club's point of view. You have to have one goalkeeper, number one. You're my number one, no matter what happens. If things go bad, if you play badly today, you're going back in the week after. That's how you have to be with goalkeepers. There's never been a club where two number ones has worked. Ever. Ever. There's always a starter and a backup, and that's it. That's made very clear to both keepers at the start of the season. 42, Marmoush is just as much a central player as Jota. How is he? Marmoush is a right-sided player with Haaland in the centre. He can play through the middle, and he did play through the middle yesterday. But he's not the same as Jota. But fine, whatever. Even if you say Marmoush, I still don't think Marmoush is better than Jota. Onana has kept something like 8 clean sheets, which is very good. Honestly, this is the thing. I was saying this to United fans before. They've got short memories. They have got short memories. I had United fans in my chat not that long ago telling me that Andre Onana was one of the best goalkeepers in the league, that he'd been underrated this season. He'd had one of the best shots to saves ratio and all this sort of stuff, pulling out all these stats. He's had a bad night against Lyon the other night, and all of a sudden Isaac with the header just wide. Yeah, he's had a bad night against Lyon. I know he's had a few other mistakes this season, but bad night against Lyon, and all of a sudden that's changed. I've had United. I remember what was the last big error that Onana had pre-Lyon? Was it maybe Brighton? Was it the Brighton game? There maybe have been one since, but I remember he had a bit of a horror show against Brighton, and even after that, United fans were telling me, he's prone to some errors, but he's still a very, very good keeper. I've no problem with him. He's a likeable keeper. Ben, I find that mental. What if today's keeper plays well, still gets dropped on Thursday? He'll think, well, what's the point? Exactly. Yeah, you're just demotivating your number two then, aren't you? Manchester United knocking it well around the back here. Oh, and then they give it away. Poor from Manchester United. That's not good at all. Ball into the box. Isaac. Chance. There it is. It's 1-0 to Newcastle. It's Sandro Tonali. Did he have a bet on that before kickoff, do we wonder? What a goal. It was a really nice finish. It's actually a really nice finish. Isaac with a lovely little flick over the defence. Tonali runs onto it. Volley with the right foot into the bottom corner. And there we go. Any talk of Bayindir keeping a clean sheet today is out the window. That is gone. Newcastle 1. Manchester United 0. Danny Roll at Wednesday said they've got 2 number ones, but there's only 1. Really? I'm sure, look, every manager will still say it's a squad game and the number 2 is still really important because they have to be playing well to keep the number 1 on the toes and all that. I get all that psychologically, but still, as a manager, you have to have a number 1, a clear number 1. He's not offside. That's brilliant from Isaac. That's absolutely sensational from Alexander Isak. That is unbelievable. The goal... do you know what? The finish from Tonali is incredible, but the pass from Isak, make no doubt about it, that's a wonderful team goal from Newcastle. Isak is fantastic there. That's fantastic from Isak. Corin, Villa will be frustrated. I mean, Villa, managed to get the win yesterday against Southampton. I think the most frustrated will be Chelsea, who dropped points at home to Ipswich today. And Forest, who get beat by Everton in the last minute. I mean, your Forest and your Chelseas, They're the ones who are really into. I mean, Brighton as well. Brighton dropping points at home to Leicester. If Brighton had won yesterday, they'd only be 4 points off a Champions League place. But there you go. Newcastle are now a point behind Nottingham, assuming they win this, of course. Still a long time to go in the game. But it's Newcastle are a point behind Nottingham Forest with a game in hand. So it'd be interesting to see whether or not they can kick on. They've got a good fixture list, actually, Newcastle, between now and the end of the season. Quite a favourable one. They've won 4 out of their last 5 in the league, Newcastle. The only one that they've lost is against Liverpool and Anfield. But they've got Crystal Palace at home next. Then they go to Villa Park. That'll be a massive game, won't it? Big 5:30 game, that, next Saturday night. Big 5:30 game. Aston Villa against Newcastle at Villa Park. Tell me, that's absolute box office, that, isn't it? Villa Newcastle at Villa Park. Fantastic. FM No Casuals, get in, Onana, I blame. 42, I want Newcastle to win as a United fan. Bloody hell. Managers will never put their players down and say they're number 2 when they are. No, I don't mean externally. I mean internally. I mean, you would never ever go to the press and say, he's my number 1. Or at least you wouldn't unless... Although saying that, some managers have done that too. But I mean, behind the scenes, in the dressing room, Bayindir has come to Manchester United knowing he's only number 2. He's only ever going to be number 2. Never more than number 2, unless he, gets an opportunity and takes it. But typically, he is coming to the club as number 2. So it's that sort of a thing. It's setting players' expectations that this is my number 1 goalkeeper, you're our number 2. If he gets injured, I need you ready. If he has a loss of form, I need you ready. You need to be, it's that whole thing. Xerxes and Bruno are the only guys with footballing brains in this team. Christian Eriksen is. I think Christian Eriksen's got a football brain. He's just maybe not got the legs anymore. But yeah, that little bit of movement and the flick from Xerxes and Fernandes in the first half was fantastic. Corin, I thought Isak had been quiet lately, but that was class. That was sensational. Andy Sass, Newcastle have done well this season. Can't see United beating them today. Newcastle too strong. 3-0. You think so? Oh, Sandro Tonali from distance again. Just wide. I think, does Bayindir get a touch on this? I don't think he does. I thought it was a corner, but Tonali just opens his body up. He's invited to shoot. It's actually quite a way wide. The United defenders just backed off him there, almost as if to say, come on, have a go if you want, have a shot. Tonali had a pop, and it was just wide. Well, 28 minutes in. What position did Tonali play before Newcastle? Was it 6 or 8? I think he kind of played a bit of both, to be honest. He tended to be a bit more box-to-box with AC Milan. He has played a bit deeper as well. So I think he likes this role in a 3 where he's got Bruno doing a bit for him, Joe Linton doing a bit for him, and he can kind of, pop up here and there with goals. He's contributing a lot in both phases of play. I think the thing with Newcastle is that they've got 3, what I would consider to be 3 unremarkable midfield players. Like, a bit like what Villa have got, and a bit like what Liverpool had, funnily enough, going back a few years. We had the likes of Henderson, Wijnaldum. Fabinho was very, very good, but they were all functional players. They weren't like wonderful, like top quality individual players. They just worked really well as a team, and I think that's what Newcastle have got, which is the best kind of midfield to have. You don't want what Manchester United have had in recent years, which is some really high quality individuals and then just a mess around them. Every time I see Ruben Amorim, he just looks dishevelled. 42, they rotate a lot. They do, don't they? Yeah, they tend to... You'll see him pop up in different areas of the pitch, different sides of the pitch. I mean, Joe Linton's effectively stood there in a number 10. He's the furthest forward of like a diamond, isn't he? He's the furthest forward. He's kind of leading the press along with Isak. Maybe playing as a second centre forward. Depending on where... But then look at him now. He's chased all the way back. And he's about to win the ball back. No, he's not. But he's now back in the other half. He's just an animal, Joe Linton. Oh, Bruno Fernandes was this close to coming on to that one then. Very nearly a big chance for Manchester United. Reece Crownshaw up the tune. 42, just seen Mbappe red. Now, what was it like? I've not seen it. In fact, let me have a look. I'll Google it quick. I'll have a quick check. Mbappe. Red. Let's see. Mbappe's red card, proper grim challenge. Oh my goodness me. That is vile. Oh, do you know what? That's horrible, that. Because there's no way that's anything other than he's absolutely gone to... I want to turn that off. That's vile. That's absolutely knocked me, that. He's gone in to do him there. He deserved... That shouldn't even be a 3-match ban. That should be like a 10-match ban. He's gone in to hurt the player there. Inexcusable, that. Absolutely inexcusable. He's gone down in my estimations a little bit for that, Mbappe. Kind of made me question Trent a little bit more as well. Like, why are you going joining them absolute mutants? In fact, do you know what? I want Arsenal to go through now. That's the hatred that's just built up in me from Mbappe doing that. That's disgusting. You don't want that. Don't want that. Not in football. I'm sorry. Don't matter how good you are. Don't do that to other players. That's ridiculous. You can live with tackles where it's a bit mistimed, can't you? You know, where he's gone in and he's maybe mistimed in. You know, as soon as you do it, you kind of put your hands up, or maybe he slid on the turf, whatever. You know, you can kind of live with them ones. That one, absolutely guaranteed. I don't know if I haven't watched the game. I don't know, but was there any sort of, you know, bit of afters before the players, before that tackle? Was there something that happened with the two of them? 2. Oh, Isak. Good save by Bayindir. Very good save by Bayindir, actually. Newcastle should be 2, maybe 3 up here. Madrid tried to get one of their games moved, so they had an extra day's rest. Surprised that the La Liga didn't do that for them. La Liga usually... And I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with that, you know. Like... Oh, chance! Isak, he goes all the way round. Oh my goodness me. Corner. Lindelof puts it behind. Yeah, I haven't got a problem with you know, federations doing that. I actually think they should. I think if you've got a team in Europe, you know, the Premier League should support them teams to try and win European competitions. So if you can move games to help them out, you should. You know, as long as it's not like last minute, which often it is, isn't it? If it's, I guess it's easier in Spain because there's no away fans, is there? So it's not like people have to totally rearrange their travel plans and all that sort of thing. That's really good play by Harvey Barnes. What a ball in. Chance. Oh, just over the bar from Dan Burton. Probably should score there, actually. Probably should score. Well, it's still 1-0 to Newcastle, but they're knocking at the door. They are knocking at the door. That was very nearly 3-0, to be honest, in the last couple of minutes. But yeah, I think nations, you know, football federations, whatever, should be supporting the teams that are in Europe. Should absolutely let them get as much rest as you possibly can. Corin, I'm back. Good to have you back. PSG don't really even need to to worry about Liga, and it's all wrapped up now, isn't it? They've only got the French Cup to worry about in a few weeks' time, and then they're fully focused on the Champions League. They can rest. They can rest pretty much their entire team for the rest of the season. It feels like it's gone a little bit flat now from a Manchester United point of view. They seem to be regressing back into the, oh, that's a good block from Lindelof. They just seem to be sitting back a little bit more, almost inviting Newcastle on, and that's never a good sign. I mean, they've got 9 minutes to half time. That's good play by Agate. There's Dalot breaking forward. That's smart. Into Garnacho. Chance for United. It's 2. Oh, it's 1-1. It's 1-1. It's Garnacho. That was remarkably simple from Manchester United. That was very simple. I've got to say. That was incredibly simple. Newcastle didn't defend all that well there. That won't have pleased Eddie Howe in his hospital bed. That will not have pleased him at all. I'm sorry, that was poor from Newcastle United. Agate wins it. They dive in. I think it's Joe Linton who dives in. And it's just too easy from Manchester United. Dalot flies forward. He's got Garnacho on his right. Plays him in. He's onside. And what's Nick Pope doing? Yeah, it's not the best. I think Nick Pope's got to do better. I think Fabian Schär maybe get a block on it. It's a bit poor from Newcastle, that really. Poor from Newcastle. And there you go, 1-1. It shows how quickly games can change. Newcastle 1, Manchester United 1. Garnacho. Corin, do you like international football? I'll watch tournaments. Absolutely, I'll watch tournaments. Got a big plan. I'm hoping Premier League Dad survives long enough that we can do an international tournament. I would love for Premier League Dad to be around for when there's a World Cup, or the Euros next year. Oh no, it's the World Cup next year, isn't it? What am I talking about? Is it the World Cup next year? What am I on about? Is it the World Cup next year? It is, isn't it? 2026. Is that right? 2022, 2026, yeah. World Cup. Madness. Yeah, USA 2026. All over the place. And I should know that. My mate's in America. I've got a mate in America who's talking to me about the US World Cup and what, going to games and stuff and whatever. But I'd love Premier League Dad as long as the channel's still here in 12, 18 months time. I'd love to do a World Cup. But I don't really watch the internationals, like the qualifiers and stuff. They kind of bug me a little bit. Reece saw Goldbridge celebrating. Goldbridge? You rat. You're not watching Goldbridge. It's cheating, that. I actually quite like. I quite like that Goldbridge. 42, tidy finish on his left. Feel bad for Eddie Howe. Nothing's going his way at the moment. They've just won a cup. And they're about finishing the top 5. He's doing all right. Just hope his health picks up. Hi, are you a Scouser? No, I'm not a Scouser. I wouldn't claim to be a Scouser. But I was born in Liverpool. I've got family from Liverpool. Played football in Liverpool all my life. I've supported Liverpool for 30 odd years. I've been all over the world watching Liverpool. I've definitely earned my stripes as a Liverpool fan. But I wouldn't say I'm a Scouser. No, I'm born just outside Liverpool. Saying you're a Scouser is a bit like saying you're a Cockney, in the sense that true Cockneys have to be born, within the bells of, I can't remember what church it is. If you can hear the bells of whatever, you're a Cockney, and I don't know what the rules are for if you're a Scouser. I think it might be if you've got a purple wheelie bin. If you've got a purple wheelie bin, you're a Scouser. If you're born somewhere like I was, like anywhere on the fringes of Liverpool, then no, you're absolutely not a Scouser. The Scousers won't welcome you as much. Hotspur Army 1882. Guess what I give up with football if we lose Thursday? I think Thursday's going to be a tough night for Spurs. It's going to be very, very tough. Cunha and Ait Nori. FS Motorsport, what has Bayindir been like? He's made a couple of alright saves. He's made some interesting sort of catches, like coming out and claiming balls from a corner and, you know, high free kicks and stuff like that. I think he's give the defence a little bit of confidence. I don't think he's been unremarkable, I would say. I don't think he never had a chance with Newcastle's goal, so there's absolutely no problem with him conceding. I think Bayindir's covered. You know, he's put in a good shift, and I think there's a lot to like about what he's done so far. He's been unremarkable, which is often what you want, isn't it? That's what you want from a goalkeeper. They don't have to be saving worldies and pulling off worldies left, right and centre. Just keep out the ones that we expect you to keep out. Catch the ones we expect you to catch. And everything will generally be alright. Ben, Frankfurt do Spurs. Yeah, I kind of expect Frankfurt will, to be honest. What's the eye roll for, HI? Are you a Scouser? Should we be talking about that? Are you a Scouser? Hotspur Army, Larson played well, to be honest. He did, didn't he? Yeah, he did. I mean, to be honest, we've been saying for a while that Strand Larsen's a very, very good, likeable centre-forward. I'll tell you what, United have got... Sorry, Newcastle have got a corner here, and twice now they've been dragged to the floor. There's a yellow card coming here for Lenny Yoro. Why is that not a penalty, then? Why is that not a penalty? There's stuff all going on here in the box. Simple corner kick. Lenny Yoro's just been booked. Thank you for the follow, Cabid Raxman. I think I've got that right. FS Motorsport, I've just said, yeah, Bayindir's playing quite well. I think so. He is playing quite well. He's saving the ones you want him to save. He's doing all right. So I'm happy enough with him. Ball into the box here, corner, chance for Newcastle, over the bar. 42, never a yellow. Josh, have you got any bets on? I have got bets on. Not got any bets on this game. FS Motorsport better than Onana. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm torn on the Onana thing. I'm torn on it. Thanks for the follow, though, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm a little bit torn on the Onana thing. I don't think it's the right thing what Amarim's done. Josh, have you got any bets on? I have got bets on, but only bets on games that don't involve... Oh, actually, I think I have got Newcastle or draw here. So, I apologise. No, I have. Every other bet that I've got on is just... Oh, it's not going well, actually. I've got Ajax to win against Willem. I'm going to have to cash that out. I'm cashing that. I am cashing that. Ajax have killed me. Do you know what? It's been a poor weekend all round for bets. It's been a very poor weekend. Right, I'm just going to cash out all bets. I've cashed out all bets. Corin, why the eye roll? I expect, I could be wrong. Hey, I don't know if HI's still in the chat, but oh my goodness me, United very nearly score there. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I imagine the eye roll was for the fact that I said I'm not a Scouser. And because I'm not a Scouser, and don't claim to be a Scouser, then I shouldn't be a Liverpool fan, maybe. But I absolutely guarantee there's not many Liverpool fans have put in the yards that I've put in, the miles that I've put in watching this Liverpool team. So yeah, I'm not at all insecure about my the commitment I've put into Liverpool Football Club over the years. Oh, Manchester United pressing here. We're coming into the last sort of 90 seconds before the end of the half. Dallow's about to put a long ball into the box, long throw-in into the box. It's cleared away by Newcastle. And Eriksen all the way back. Ben, born about 10 miles outside of the city, but still an out-of-towner. The thing you can't, if you're from, St Helens, you can't say, can you? You can't say that you're a Scouser, and nor would you want to. Nothing wrong with being from St Helens, but yeah, there's sort of a snobbishness with certain groups of fans that if you're not born in the immediate vicinity of the stadium, then you have no business at all supporting them. FS Motorsport 3-1 to Man United. Really? Well, we'll see. We'll see. We're not Scousers, but we're people of God's country. Well, it's there's about 10 seconds left of the half here now, so I think it's about half time. United are just going to pass this back to Bayindir. I imagine he'll send it up the pitch and that'll be it for half time. So we'll just get the yeah, there you go. Newcastle 1, Manchester United 1. Kane, this has been a boring game. It's not been a boring game. It's not been a boring game. I think it's been a really good game, I think United have played a lot better than I was expecting them to. I'll say that. I think the Newcastle goal was terrific. I think it's been a good game. I actually quite enjoyed the game. Lou, jammy couldn't choose, bad though. Hey, good to see you, mate. Hey, you did well yesterday, didn't you? You did well yesterday. We was watching that. Decore, last minute, smashing it in. Great goal. This season has lacked 0-0 draw, which is good. I think it's been alright, I really do. User 78251524all61. How's Bayindir playing? I think Bayindir's been playing quite well, actually. I think he's done well, but allegedly, if you're to believe Henry Winter, he's going to be dropped on Thursday for Onana again, irrespective of how well he plays today. But he has been playing very well. Yeah, I think he's saved the shots you want him to save. He's come out and claimed a lot. He's brought confidence to the defence. He's sort of claimed those high balls and punched those crosses clear. He had no chance with the goal, so I think he's done all right. Yeah, I think he's been all right. To be honest, we've rotated and we're doing decent. Delow's been good. Amas has had a decent game. Xerxes been good. Played the ball quick. Bayindir should be our starter keeper. Maybe he will be, Josh. Lou, let me send you some of these bets, lad. Won a bar 4 bag lately. Good lad, well done. Mate, I've had a shocker. I've had nothing. I won 70 quid last night and that was it. That's about all. And to be honest, all that's gone on today. And, well, not all of it, but a big chunk of it's gone back on today. And it's, yeah, I've lost most of it since. I think I've cashed out. I've got about 35 left of the 70. So I put 35 back on from the 70 that I won. And, yeah, and most of that's gone. It's been bad results today. Alkmaar getting beat. Chelsea drawing. It's been a few bad results today. Kane, Yoro, I love him. I don't think has he done much, Yoro? I don't think he's done much. Corin, this is Champions League race is one of the best in a while. It is, isn't it? There's that Champions League race now. Like I said, Newcastle winning. If they were to win today, I mean, obviously there's a lot still to go, but if they were to win today, they're a point behind Forest with a game in hand. Clock's still ticking. Thanks, Corin. See, I'm still catching up. I'm still trying to, manage all this. So thank you. There you go. We've stopped the clock. Josh, how much do you stake though? He missed the chip from Isaac to concede. Oh, you can't blame him for that. You can't blame him for that. I'll tell you how much. I'll have a look. Let me see if I can see what Lou's just sent me. Let's have a look. I'll share it with the group, if you don't mind, Lou. Bloody hell! You see that to me is fair play, lad. But that is to me is just madness. Yanis Hadji to be booked and Yanis Hadji to score 4th in the match. And you put £1 on it, was 120 to 1. That's insane. That's so good. Salomon Rondon to score 3 or more goals. You got to put a tenner on that. Oh, lad, that's insane. That is absolutely crackers. I don't know how you could do that. Well done, like. Mason Mount player to be booked. You put 15 quid on Mason Mount to be booked against Leon. You got 315 quid back. Well done. Well done. Put 20 quid on Kostas Tsimikas to be offside today at 12 to 1. You got 260 back. Well done. Listen, when they come off like that, good lad. I'm useless at it, evidently. The Rondon one is amazing. Yeah, well done. Rondon one's incredible. Won me 4-ton the other day against City as well. Good lad. Good lad. That's really well done. I'm going to have to start putting on some of these curveballs, these big bets. Thierry Henry. Is it Thierry Henry? No, I know it's Roy Keane in the studio, but I can't see who's with him. I thought it was Thierry Henry, but evidently it's not. Sun's just shining off that side of the telly, so I couldn't quite see. Here's Tonali, his first goal. That was incredible. Great finish. It was all about Isaac, that. Kane, predictions for the second half. I think 2-2 was the shout before the game by a lot of people in the chat. And I did think there would be goals in this one. But I think I'm going to stick with 3-1 Newcastle. Something tells me Newcastle really need to... Les Ferdinand, that's what it is. Yeah, something tells me that Newcastle will put a lot of effort into this second half. A lot more than they did the first. And they need to win, don't they? They need to win. I mean, in many ways, it would actually be quite good for the Premier League if Newcastle were to drop points here. Because if they were to drop points here, then it does just open up that top 4 race. It's not as big of a deal, I guess. Newcastle get the win, then they're on... If Newcastle get the win and win their game in hand, they're on the coattails of Arsenal. Forget Nottingham Forest and the others. They're flying. So... if Newcastle drop points, there's still a game in hand on most of the teams around them. It actually wouldn't be too bad. Henry, do Villa a favour, United. Yeah, Villa just about got the job done yesterday, didn't they? Just about got the job done. That Xerxes Bruno 1-2 in the first half, mate. That was fat, wasn't it? Cole and York at Barcelona in the new camp, in the prime. That was exactly what that reminded me of. It was fabulous play. Really good play. Need Ericsson card for 400 quid. Fucking hell, Lou. That's some going. Thanks for following, Priya. Appreciate it. Thanks for sharing the live. Whoever's just shared it, I didn't see. But thank you very much for sharing it. Mate, I love Xerxes, me. What a baller. Yeah, he's done well. He has done well in moments, I guess. He's still not going to be the starting centre-forward for Manchester United, is he? Lad, I'm up about 6k. Hell. Yeah, I need to get on some of these bets with you, mate. I need to get on some of them. Right, well... Kicking myself, didn't have more on the Hadji one, to be honest. Mate, you couldn't put more on that. 120 to 1 for Yanis Hadji to be booked and score the 4th goal in the game. That's so bizarre. But well done. Like, it's a great shout. Obviously, it's come off, but you can't put more than a quid on that. I mean, even to put a quid on that feels bizarre to me. Kane Garnacho's goal was tidy. I thought Garnacho's goal was a bit of a poor one from a Newcastle point of view. I thought they should have done better, really. I'm gonna put a quick bet on today's games. Just this last little few, because there's not many games left today, to be honest, is there? I'll put Betis or draw against Villarreal. We'll do Bilbao or draw against Rayo Vallecano. I'm going to do Roma or draw against Lazio. Napoli or draw against Empoli. Lyon or draw away to Auxerre. I'm going to do Braga or draw at home to AVS. Is it going on in the Turkish league? No, nothing in Turkey. Right, let's have a look at Europe. Croatia. Ooh, Hajduk split. Go on, we'll have Hajduk split against Lokomotiv Zagreb. We'll back them. Czech league. Victoria Plitzen or draw against Bohemians. Greek league. Olympiacos or draw against Athens. Polish. I don't know about Legia Warsaw, actually. No, we'll leave that one. Romania. Yeah, there you go. We'll have Cluj and we'll have Steaua Bucharest. Serbia. No, stay away from them. Slovenia. Maribor or Bravo. Good. And let's have a look in America. This is how quick we can throw these bets on. We're nearly on for the second half. And then we'll have... Let's have a look at Uruguay. Nacional playing are usually alright. Nacional against Danubio. Go on, we'll back them. Nacional or draw against Danubio. That might be it, to be honest. Inter Miami playing. Go on. We'll have Inter Miami or draw away to Chicago Fire. Why not? Right. So that's nearly 200 to 1 just for that so far, and I've not actually put anything really on. Yeah, it's worth a few quid. We'll put £2.50 on that. £2.50 returns 600 dabs. We'll see. We'll see how they get on. It's only in the next 24 hours, but we'll see. Go on, let me see. I'll share the link. I'll send it to you now, Lou. You can see if you want a bit of that. It's a long bet. It's a 15-fold, but I don't mind doing them. Copy. Right. How can I send it to you? Twitter. Right, there you go. That should work, I think, with a bit of luck. Does it? I don't know. Yeah, see what you think. You fancy Auxerre? Lazio, Roma, BTTS. Right, Lloydie, I had Spurs, Chelsea to win today. Both lost. Fuck, Lloydie. Yeah, Lloydie, bets aren't for you, mate. Bets aren't for you. 1-2-30 on Madrid game too. Had Mbappe and Martin card. Mbappe's tackle was horrific. It was horrific, honestly. Unbelievable. Lloydie, reckon Cardiff will go down this year. Do you think? I don't know where Cardiff are. I've not seen. Let's take a quick look at the Championship table. I haven't looked since Sheffield United got battered yesterday in the last minute. They let everyone down, Sheffield United, every week it feels like. And they've now cost themselves the automatic spot, haven't they? You know, they're 5 points off Burnley and Leeds with, 4 games left. So That's done. That is absolutely done. Cardiff, oh yeah, Derby, Hull. They might have a chance of reigning in Portsmouth and Stoke. Who have they got between now and the end of the season? Next few fixtures. They play Sheffield United away, tough. They play Norwich away, tough. They've got West Brom at home. That's going to be... They've got... Basically, the 6-pointer is against Oxford, isn't it? They need to beat Oxford. Ideally, they need to be picking up 6 or 7 points in them 4 games. And that's probably going to be a win at Oxford and maybe points in the other 3. If they get that, then they might stay up. Otherwise, it's going to be really tough. Yeah. Kane, thoughts on Amas? He's done all right. Yeah, I mean, without being spectacular. I think he's had a couple of moments defensively, maybe a couple of wobbles, but other than that, he's been all right. Corin, do you think United or Spurs will go through? Ideally, I'd want only Spurs to go through, but that's what I want, not necessarily what I think will happen. What I think will happen, sadly, is I think United probably will go through. I hope they don't. And I think it'll be tight. But I think United probably will go through against Lyon, and I think Frankfurt will knock Spurs out. Yeah, so I've been wrong before plenty of times, but my gut tells me that Frankfurt probably knock Spurs out, and United probably do Lyon, and the home factor will tell in both of those games because they're both delicately poised. So that's what I would say. Double chance, so basically a 7-4. That's it. Yeah, that's how I look at it. I always put double chance on. I don't mess about with any of the other stuff. Lou, got to press share link, bro. I did, but for some reason it only came through as the... there you go. Betis 1-0 up against Villarreal already. The bet's underway. 42, what are you betting on? I won't say the name, just in case it affects the channel in any way, shape or form. But they are often associated with Stoke City Football Club. I'll just say that. That's what I tend to bet on. Your Harvey, love how you're all stuck up for Hamas. He got a booking for it, didn't he? Corin, my son is back at school tomorrow. I think it'll be a challenge getting him into school, though. Yeah, kids going back. I just say my little girl's back in school tomorrow as well. We had to make an Easter bonnet over the weekend for her to take into class. So, yeah, we was making an Easter bonnet. Lou had another one. I had Coco card for Torino too. Good, mate. Well done, mate. Well done. Bet 364. I hope United and Spurs both get knocked out. I really feel sorry for Spurs. I do. I really feel sorry for them. I want them to. I want them to get through, but I don't think they will. Something tells me they won't. Harry Maguire's getting stripped off here. He might be coming on early in the second half here. Newcastle with the overlap. Spurs have had a dreadful season, let's be honest. They have had a bit. I know, but isn't that all the more reason we'd want them to kind of get it right? I don't know. I feel like I quite like Ange Postecoglou. I do quite like Ange Postecoglou. I don't think he's a bad manager by any stretch, and I think he's kind of been a victim a little bit of his own stupidly, naively saying to fans that he always wins something in his second year. He just set the expectations going, didn't he? And it was always going to be difficult for him, especially the way they've gone about it in the league season. So it's been a tough year for Spurs, and I'd quite like him to get it right with a cup win. I don't think they will, though. I think Athletic Bilbao are almost certainly winning that competition. Oh, that's a wonderful turn by Xerxes on the halfway line. He's driving forward, gives it off. Oh, he's gone down. There's no penalty for that. He's not getting a penalty for that. Who was it? Who went down there? Xerxes. That was beautiful on the turn. Really good turn. Amas has just smashed it over the bar. But that's good confidence. Really good confidence from the lad. Tonali's down. He's taking his boot off as well. But what a turn by Xerxes. It was Delo who got into the box and just took a dive. I think Tonali maybe... Did he get his studs caught? Oh, he's rolled his ankle. Yeah, he's rolled his ankle. Rolled his ankle. He's putting his shoe back on, so he's alright, but he did roll his ankle there. Corin, I want Ange to win something this second season. I'd quite like him to. It's just who he is, mate. It's just who I am, mate. Yeah, I do. I quite like him. I wouldn't mind him. I wouldn't mind him getting a win in the second season. I'd quite like him to get some sort of a stay of execution. Maybe he doesn't win something. Maybe he just gets to the final. I wonder if that would be enough for Spurs fans. Do you think? I think if Spurs somehow got a final but finished whatever 13th, would that appease him? Would they be happy enough with him staying? I guess we'll see. Here's Livramento down the left, ball across. Murphy, Barnes, 2-1. 2-1. Nothing wrong with that. Good finish. Really good finish. Poor from Manchester United. It's that's not how you defend your 6-yard box, certainly. Question marks. Again, I've not seen the replay back, but question marks immediately on the two centre halves, maybe even the goalkeeper, I guess. It's a ball across the face of the 6-yard box. Livramento fires it across. Murphy puts it back across, and then Harvey Barnes runs in. For to have that many runners through the goal, it just, to me, they all look all over the place. So defensively, it feels like there's a problem. Let's take a look back. Here we go. Livramento, that's not great. Delo, that's not great. Oh, that's poor. Yeah, that's poor. Amas, Delo. It's a little bit of naivety. And I kind of feel like Yoro's got to know where Harvey Barnes is. Yoro's got to be looking over his shoulder there. Yoro has to be looking over his shoulder. It's a bit of a disaster. It's a bit of a disaster all round that. It's not great defending. I don't think you can blame the keeper, actually. I was wrong. Nothing really Bayern can do there. His defence in front of him let him down. Simple as that, really. But it's 2-1 Newcastle. It's 2-1 Newcastle. Prem Dad, what iPhone you got? I don't know, actually. It's an old one. I just use this for work. So it's it's just an old one. I think it might be like iPhone 11, maybe 12. I don't know. I don't know. It's a good few years old anyway. Right, well, that's good. Newcastle back in front. Edward, no, I meant what iPhone do you use for everyday uses? Again, I don't know. I don't think it's not the newest one. I don't know. It's whichever. It's not as old as that, but it ain't the newest one. So I couldn't tell you. I don't know. After iPhone, I think 3 or whatever, I kind of give up tracking what they are, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. The 14, maybe it might be, yeah, might be. I think that's the 11 or the 12. So it might be I don't know. Yeah, couldn't tell you. You got the 15. Nice. Saw them yesterday. I think they were on sale in Costco. Oh, Harvey Barnes. Unlucky. It's good play by Xerxes. Do you know what? I'm starting to like him a lot more for United. Yeah, he's a very good player. He's a very likeable player. Oh, and he's pulled up. His hamstring's done. That's him done. He's out to Thursday. Oh, no. Oh, what were we saying? That might be the worst thing that could have happened to Manchester United, because it is Rasmus. Oh, no. Oh, and I was complimenting him as well. I was actually saying nice things about Joshua Zirkzee. I was actually saying, fair play, he's a really likeable player. Look at that, really good. He has been very sharp today. Good on the turn, driving forward, playing really well. You know, and he's just... Oh, Ben, he's just picked the ball up. Zirkzee's done it a few times today where he picked the ball up on the halfway. And genuinely, I'm not trying to, like, big him up too much. But, like, Bergkamped it, like, spun away from players and left them for dead. He's sprinting forward at the Newcastle defence. He took on 3 or 4 players, like we see Luis Diaz do for us. But doing it with no pace. Xerxes not really a pacey player, but he's just glided past a few Newcastle defenders. And I was literally mid-sentence saying, wow, what a player, what a guy. He's actually a really likeable player for United. And then he pulls up, he stops mid-run, and he grabs his hamstring, and they're now walking him off, carrying him off. He ain't playing on Thursday. That's massive. That is massive for Manchester United. Big loss. Joshua Zirkzee out of Thursday, and Rasmus Højlund replaces him. Here's United's number 9, Rasmus. Edward, do you think you'll ever go to Android? No, I don't like Android. Mount should have never got to wear the 7 shirt. Well, there's some changes coming on for Manchester United here. So we've got Rasmus Højlund coming on for Joshua Zirkzee. Patrick Dorgu's coming on for Harry Amas. And who's this coming on? Mason Mount's coming on for Ericsson, maybe? Makes sense to put him on for Ericsson, surely. Garnacho! Wow, goal scorer's coming off. That's an odd one. That's an odd choice. But Mason Mount, Rasmus Højlund and Dorgu come on for Zirkzee, Garnacho and Amas. Hey, there you go. Right, well, we've got a game on now, I guess, and that's certainly going to change things for Ruben Amorim on Thursday now. No Zirkzee. Højlund has to start now. And to be honest, given how late it is in the season, if United do go through it, be amazed if Zirkzee actually makes any sort of appearance between now and the end of the season. That might be him done. That might be him done for the season. No Joshua Zirkzee for Manchester United against Lyon for sure, and realistically probably no more Zirkzee, because they're a good, those hamstrings are a good 4 to 6 weeks out, if not longer. So yeah, at an absolute stretch, he might be back for maybe a Europa League final. I guess it depends on what grade of a tear it is and all that sort of thing, but it didn't look good. He's hobbled off, and he's needed help to be hobbled off as well. And you could see him, he immediately stopped and grabbed his hamstring. It's a bad one. You know, we saw Saka do that, didn't we? Saka did basically exactly the same thing. I think it was against Crystal Palace. Didn't see him for 2 or 3 months. So, yeah, it's going to be a bad day for Ruben Amorim in that sense. Losing Joshua Zirkzee, now maybe losing the game as well. Bad day. Josh, I think United might get a draw if we're lucky. Could do, Josh. Yeah, could do. There's still time. I mean, United have had chances, so I certainly wouldn't rule them out. But I would also have to point out that I think Zirkzee was maybe the driving force for United, and that was probably one of the big reasons why they could have got a draw here. You know, the way he's turned and kind of drove United forward, no other player's done that or been able to do that. No, that's poor from Bayindir. I don't even think it was Bayindir, actually, it was Yoro. Yeah, I won't. I absolutely won't accept that you're always top class yet. There's a couple of things there we've just seen. He's still got a lot to work on. He's still very raw. 42 still easily beat United. Still easily beat Leon. No United fan cares about this game. Well, don't know about that. Don't know about that. We definitely do care. Edward, how did Trippier go from Spurs to Atletico to Newcastle? Such a strange career. Well, he went from Burnley first, didn't he? Burnley to Spurs to Atletico to Newcastle. FM Newcastle rules, I blame Onana for this. Why do you care? Literally pointless. It's not pointless. There's 3 points at stake. Definition of there's a point to it. There's 3 points. Oh, that's a foul. That's a foul. He got absolutely battered there. That's good play by Højlund. Is that Dorgu furthest forward? Dorgu the furthest Man United player forward on a counter-attack after a corner. Patrick Dorgu was the furthest player forward. He's basically playing centre forward for United then. Bruno Fernandes has just absolutely smashed Kieran Trippier. 42 to maintain the place we're in and can't risk losing easy points. Rather Newcastle win and they take a Champions League spot over City or Chelsea. Relegation is done, brother. I mean, look, I understand both arguments in this one. Look, you can't just stop caring about the Premier League. The thing is, 42, United need to get form going into the game against Leon as well. It's not just about kind of, you know, there's nothing to play for in the league, because you're probably right. But every position in the league is worth 2 million quid. So if United were to go on a winning run between now and the end of the season, in theory, you could move up from... Well, where are you now in the table? Let's take a look. Manchester United in the Premier League table, you're currently 14th, right? If you were to get something from this game, you'd be 13th. If you were to win this game, and then, let's say you were to take the league seriously between now and the end of the season, in theory, you could go from 14th to maybe 10th. Genuinely, maybe 10th. Bournemouth are not playing very well at all. But Brentford, Bournemouth are certainly not playing all that well. So you could move up for maybe 5 positions. That's 10 million quid. It's an extra 10 million quid that United are going to get. That's maybe the difference between signing a player and not, isn't it? Means a lot. 42, we don't want people to mock us more, even though relegation is done. That's true. That is true. I mean, look, we've mocked Spurs all season. Do you know what the crazy thing is? Do you know what the absolutely crazy thing is? This is hilarious, right? Manchester United's next Premier League game, is against Wolves. If Wolves were to beat Manchester United, admittedly it's at Old Trafford, but after the Leon game, Wolves play Manchester United at Old Trafford. If Wolves were to beat United, they go level on points with them. And when you consider that, and West Ham as well, West Ham have still got to play Man United as well, at Man United. If you talk about those players, those teams beating United, United might finish the season in 17th if they just stop caring. Imagine United finish one place above the relegation zone. It's not a good look. It is not a good look. 42, I said in Jan time, I couldn't care if we finished 17th, just win the Europa. Yeah, but what if you finish 17th and you don't win the Europa because you've not cared about the league over the next 5, 6, 7 games, whatever it is? If you don't care about it enough, you probably will finish 17th, and there's no guarantee you win the Europa. Corner to Manchester United. Josh, Europa's going to be a struggle due to our team. Need more money for the summer. So crucial, isn't it? The Europa League for Manchester United. So important. You have to win it. The transfer budget is just going to It's going to be so affected by it. The transfer budget, the types of players you can attract, maybe even the types of players at the club, you know. I mean, Bruno Fernandes, there's talk about Real Madrid, there's talks about clubs maybe interested in Bruno. Do we think Bruno sticks it out at Manchester United if there's no Champions League? You know, I would expect so, but certainly would intensify things, wouldn't it? You put max effort in Europa. What's 10th going to do for United? Well, 10th for United, as I say, is an extra 10 million quid, which is potentially an extra. I know the difference between signing a player and not. Newcastle are in here. It's 3. That was unbelievable. Who was that? It's Harvey Barnes again. It's 3. It's 3. That's unbelievable. He was gliding through. It was a fabulous goal from Harvey Barnes, and that is it done and dusted, and that is the scoreline that I said, and I'm a bit gutted I've stopped at 3-1. I said 3-1 just at half-time, and it's 63 minutes on the clock. This could be 4 or 5 now. United look like they're collapsing. Looks like the United are collapsing. Josh, hopefully United sign my mate from Peterborough, scored first goal at Wembley. You are joking me, Josh. That was a fabulous goal. I saw that today. That was a great goal. Is that your mate? Hey, what a player. What a player. Yeah, I'm sorry. That is not good enough. I mean, yes, Mazraoui slips. But then you've got Lindelof and Yoro. Neither of them cover themselves in glory there. Wonderful finish from Barnes. I still don't think the keeper's been at fault for any of the goals today for Newcastle. The United defence has been all over the place. He has been. They've been all over the place, United. Right, and now this could be a cricket score. This really could be a cricket score. Manchester United now just have to defend, and get what they can. Joe Linton's just put a shoulder in there to... Who's that? Who's gone down? Igate. Lindelof giving up. Lindelof and Yoro, I think the pair of them didn't cover themselves in glory there. Josh, he used to be at the Aston Villa Academy, then went Peterborough due to lack of play time now. Alright, okay. Interesting. I don't know who it is. What's his name? I just saw the goal and I thought, wow, that is some finish. Harley Mills. Yeah. Harley Mills. There you go. He's barely played, hasn't he? 6 games for Peterborough this season. Barely played. That was never Yoro's. Yoro's got to come across and I think do a bit better, though that's what I'm saying. I think if your mate's not getting to it, which Lindelof never was, I think Yoro's got to have the pace to cover it. He's got to step up, he's got to step across. And Yoro's not looked great. Certainly in the second half, I would say. He's not looked great. Bloody hell, look at that lineup there. Shearer, Nicky Butt and David Ginola. Sat with Tang Fastics in front of him. Loads of Tang Fastics in front of him. Good lads. Josh, you should look at the other goal he scored. That was a decent one. The other goal was scored by, was it Cipriano, Hector Cipriano. It was a great goal, but I mean both of them were really. 42, Lindelof was right there. Grandad. Well, it's a good result for Newcastle, and you'd have to say that really does make them favourites for the Champions League qualification now. It's put them right on the tails of Nottingham Forest. And Newcastle's remaining fixtures, by the way, I was looking at them before. There's There's quite a few games in there that I think they should be getting 3 points in. Obviously, they've got Crystal Palace midweek. I'm going to be live midweek as well. I forgot about that. That's their. Oh, that's on the same time as Arsenal, isn't it? Yeah, it's live the same time as Arsenal. Betis won, Villarreal won, but then they've got between now and the end of the season, Newcastle, they've got Palace, Villa away next season, then they've got Ipswich at home, Brighton away, Chelsea at home, Arsenal away, Everton at home, last day of the season. So they've got maybe 3 or 4 winnable games there, I would say, in terms of maybe Palace, Ipswich, Everton. But other than that, there's a lot of tough ones for Newcastle. So these are important games. This is the game they've got to start getting points in and stretching away from these teams. Prem Dad, who's had a strange career for you? I don't really understand the question, mate. A lot of players have had strange careers, but I guess it depends which way you want to look at it. Ben, great day for me and all the other Peterborough fans all around the world. Honestly, I thought if you've seen the goals were special. Absolutely brilliant. Both goals. Just seen it's Tierno Barry who scored for Villarreal against Real Betis. He's another one to watch out for. If clubs who are looking for a centre forward this summer, Tierno Barry will be on that list. I'm telling you. He's massive for one, but he's a very, very good striker, and he's scoring quite a lot now. He's started to pick up his scoring rate. He's been prolific wherever he's gone. I think he came through Bâle. He was in Switzerland. I think he came through at Belgium as well. And he's moved to Villarreal and just never looked back. He's an unbelievable centre forward. Very young lad, but he's built like Lassina Traore. He's huge. And I think he's suited to the Premier League in many ways. He's kind of a lot like Benjamin Sesko in the style of play. Harvey Barnes has just skinned Dalot again there. He's into the box. Good block. Good recovery that from Dalot. Very good recovery. It wasn't Dalot actually, it was Mazraoui. Mazraoui got done first. Mazraoui dived in and Barnes got after him. Gets into the box. Good block from Mazraoui. That's good. Better defending from United. Better defending. Edward, I mean, who's had the strangest career for you? I don't know. I don't know. I'll have a think about that. I'm not sure. Corner to Newcastle. Trippier about to float this one in. I say float. They've floated most of them in. He's floated this one in. Right to the back stick. Chance. It's in. Oh, unlucky. Keeper. Well done, Altay Bayindir. Newcastle pushing for more here. That's offside. That's offside. No, it's not. Dorgu into Yoro. Yoro gives it away. Honestly, people keep defending him. I'm telling you, he's not the player they think he is, Yoro. I've seen him so many times now. He's looked all over the place, sloppy. He's got the pace and the skill to often get himself out of difficult positions. But he's not out special defensively. Bruno Fernandes there, just being pressed by Sandro Tonali. Newcastle fans absolutely love him. Love him to bits. Thanks for the follow, Anthony. Appreciate it. Thanks for sharing the live as well. Whoever's just shared the live and the likes, all that good stuff. Appreciate it. If you haven't gone over to YouTube yet, give us a follow. I'm posting a new video every single day this week. So yeah, new videos coming soon. Keep following, keep subscribing, all that good stuff if you can. that's poor. And who is it? Lenny Yoro yet again. I'd love to see how many times he gives the ball away. It's better play from United at the back in terms of the movement looks a bit sharper. The movement looks a little bit better, but they give the ball away more times than I care to imagine. Kieran Trippier has just been studied there. He's gone down in agony. It was Dorgu who stamped on him. I think it was accidental, to be fair. Yeah, I think he's been... he's felt that one. Definitely felt that one. Right, so this one then leaves, as I said, this one leaves Newcastle in fourth. 1 point behind Forest with a game in hand. They play that game in hand on Wednesday night against Crystal Palace. So they could be as much as... What would they be on 59? They'd be 5 points. They'd be 5 points from Chelsea in 6th. After Chelsea dropping points today, if they were to beat Palace on Wednesday night, they'd go 5 points clear. They'd go above Nottingham Forest. And they'd actually only be 4 points. They'd be closer to Arsenal in 2nd than Chelsea in 6th. So Newcastle, you'd have to say, are pretty much done. Unless they collapse between now and the end of the season, which I don't see them doing. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. Hoyland, good ball in. Delo, good shot, good save. It wasn't Delo, it was Agate. Honestly, Agate just looks like 4 different players on the pitch. Every time I see him, I confused him for Harry Hamas, Bruno Fernandes, Diogo Delo. That's good play. That's really good play. Josh Murphy. What are we on? 75th minute. Still time. I think maybe if United were to... Because they've just got into the box then. There's an half-decent chance. So it's the first time they've actually tested the goalkeeper, I think, in maybe this half, actually. I don't think they've worked Pope at all this half. But they have just got up the pitch then, and that might be maybe a good sign from Amarim's point of view that they're actually getting into the box. Chance, Isak, cleared away. Yeah, I mean, they're at least pushing forward now. Trippier, Bayindir claims it. They're going to have to put more bodies forward. They've got 15 minutes here to try it. Well, 15 minutes plus added time to try and get something. So Bayindir's fluffed it. Oh, no. No. Bruno, give her ice. No, I can't believe what I've just seen. United thought they had it bad with Onana. Bayindir's just dropped a howler. Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not Andre Onana. Maybe it's the Manchester United goalkeeper kit. It's just so poor from Bayindir. I feel sorry for the kid because he's actually had a really good game for most of the game. He's been all right. He's claimed what he's needed to claim. He's saved what he needed to save. But that's unacceptable. I'm sorry. That's poor. That's really poor. The ball comes to his feet. Let's just watch it back. He just hits it straight out to Joe Linton. Joe Linton doesn't really do it. It just hits him in the head, really. And it comes straight back to Bruno Guimaraes, who's got a one-on-one with him, and he slots it in. It's poor. It's all on the goalkeeper, that one. It's all on the goalkeeper. And you might say that the game was done already. Maybe it was. But I tell you something. The game's done now. Bruno Guimaraes 4 for Newcastle. Manchester United 1. Oh my goodness. FM No Casuals, Onana is the problem, Onana is the problem. Ben, Betis look all over Villarreal according to stats. Betis are smashing him, yeah. Smashing him. Callum, United are so bad. You think Isak stays if Newcastle get Champions League? Yeah, I think if they get Champions League, he stays. They've just took Isak, Murphy and Trippier off for Wilson, Anthony Gordon and Emil Kraft. It's Luke, not sure why he's even trying that. Just keep it simple, and the shirt is probs his for the rest of the season. That's true. But again, it depends, you know. United have just brought on Luke Shaw for Mazraoui. Apparently, Luke, Henry Winter has said that it doesn't matter how Bayindir played today, whether he was man of the match and United got a clean sheet, or if he had a howler like he has. It didn't matter. Onana was always going back in on Thursday night. I think there's a part of me, genuinely, I know this is going to sound odd and you might laugh and you might say absolutely not, but I think there's a little part of me that thinks Amorim will be glad that he's made that howler. There's a little tiny part of me that thinks Amorim will be quite pleased because it takes the pressure off him as the manager now. He had a problem. If it stayed 3-1, Bayindir had been all right. The defence had been a bit all over the place, but Bayindir had been all right. As I say, he saved what he needed to save. He'd caught what he needed to catch. He had been reliable-ish. And now, all of a sudden, he's got to put Onana back in. Because the only other keeper he's got is throwing in howlers. Unless he goes with Tom Heaton. I mean, Christ, maybe Heaton goes in and Heaton starts throwing in howlers. You never know at this point. Justice for Onana. Kane, bring on next season already. 42 at this point. I'll go to OT and play in goal for the Lyon game. Well, it looks like it's going to be Onana back in for the Lyon game. Callum, KDB said he's open for a Prem move. I hope so. I really hope so with Kevin De Bruyne. I would be really gutted. I would be really gutted if he left and just went to Saudi or the MLS. I think he's too good for that still. You know, go and play in Saudi in the MLS when your career's done. You don't play there now. You don't do that. I'm always a little bit disappointed when you see top players moving over there for that. You earn good money in this league, you know, and you can compete with the very best. Going to Saudi for the money, it doesn't seem to make sense to me. It's Luke's. Yeah, I don't disagree. Makes it easier to throw Onana back in. Yeah, screams United need a new keeper. Hope they see it fully now. Heaton playing on Thursday would be hilarious. I wouldn't rule it out. Here we go. Bruno Fernandes getting taken off. Mainu's coming on. He's given the captaincy to Victor Lindelof. Amorim just using this to get the injury players some minutes. I mean, look, there's United fans. I'm not specifically referring to UK, but there have been United fans in the chat saying that there is absolutely no real importance to this. I know 42, you said something similar. No real importance to this game. It's all about the game on Thursday. And to a degree, I understand where they're coming from. But you still don't want to be smashed 4-1. And that doesn't help the preparation for Lyon. That doesn't help the preparation for Lyon. From a Manchester United point of view, they've got a goalkeeper who's threw 2 in against Lyon. They put another goalkeeper in, and he's just thrown 1 in as well. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter about the points, but the performance is really, really bad. And that stings. That's going to carry on into Thursday. It's difficult to prepare for the biggest game of your life when you're losing like this. Tom Heaton was good at Burnley. He was, but he's got to be close to 40 now. He's got to be touching 40. Billy MCN, such a big fan, mate. Been there since day one. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that, Billy. Thanks, mate. Beanie, afternoon, mate. Afternoon, Beanie. Hope you're good, mate. Hope you're doing well. Who's this? Sorry. No, I always get Agate wrong again. It looked like Ericsson there, but it wasn't. Callum the Red. Oh, sorry, I've already read that. Tom Heaton was good at Burnley too. We've not heard much of Rasmus Højlund since he's come on the pitch. I've got to say, that Xerxes injury wasn't helpful either. I think United can and will beat Lyon, but won't win the Europa League. I think I'm on that bus as well, Luke. I'd quite like Lyon to beat United. Look, I'm a Liverpool fan. Of course I want United to go out. But I think United will just beat Lyon. The fact they haven't got Xerxes isn't helpful, though. I've been very impressed by Joshua Xerxes today. I thought he played very, very well. He linked up with Bruno Fernandes well. And he was on an amazing run. Literally, Bergkamp-esque, gliding through the Newcastle team, taking on 3 or 4 players. It looked like I might have to change my opinion on him, actually. And then he just pulls up, his hamstring goes. It's really quite sad for him personally, as well as United. And it's a blow in as much that they've got to now put their faith in Rasmus Højlund, who is a striker, by the way. I don't dislike Rasmus Højlund either. There's a big part of me that wants United to just kind of stick with him and not from I hate United. Nothing to do with that. I think it's the right thing. I think he's a young striker. They need to give him confidence. He's critically lacking in confidence. He just looks bereft of it. Every time he gets the ball, he looks like unsure of himself. It's a bit like the Darwin Núñez thing, and you can see it in strikers. You don't need to look at the stats, the goals, or anything like that. That's not impressive, but you can see it in the performance. Every time he gets the ball, he passes when he should shoot. He shoots when he should pass. When you start seeing strikers do that, and they're in and out the side, it's usually that's the reason why. 42 play Menu and Garnacho 10 with Bruno Casemiro behind for Lyon. That'd be bold. I think Menu does have to start. I would start Menu, yeah. I think Menu's the right person to start. Apologies, the clock had stopped. Beanie, Højlund is like backing a 3-legged horse in the National, does absolutely nothing for us. Is there not a little part of you, Beanie? Is there not a little part of you that just, I don't know, thinks that maybe Højlund is in the wrong system, or maybe he's not surrounded by players that can support him? Like, I just look at Onana as a typical example of this, and there's a lot of players. I'm always looking back at United players who have come to the club, they look terrible at the club, and then they leave, and all of a sudden it's like a light switch, they're fine again and they're really good. McTominay, we saw it with Smalling, we're seeing it with Anthony now. Sancho scores today for Chelsea. I know he's been a bit all over the place, but he did it at Dortmund as well. McTominay at Napoli. There's just loads of United players, and it can't be just a coincidence. Every time a United player leaves, they seem to go on and do better. I'm not saying they pull up trees anywhere, but they seem to leave and go on and do better. And I think Højlund would absolutely be that as well. I think Onana would be that as well. And if I was a United fan, I would be imploring the club, just absolutely begging them to, as much as it pains you and it hurts you, and you don't want to. Ideally, you want United to behave as they did under Sir Alex Ferguson and almost be like, no, we're going to rip it up. We're going to rip the whole thing up. We're going to sell him. He's not good enough for this great club. They're not there anymore. United aren't there anymore. That's not the club. That doesn't exist anymore. The club is financially in ruins. It's a car crash on and off the pitch. It needs major. It's exactly what, what's his name? The Austrian manager. Forget his name. The guy who came in interim. My head's gone. He said that United need open heart surgery. They need massive, massive surgery. Front and back of house. Everywhere. And I just think Højlund is a player that needs patience. And I guess we'll see whether or not that's something that will pay off, you know. But yeah, Rangnick, that was the one. Yeah, Ralph Rangnick. It's Luke. Hoyland will do well at another club. Book it now. Yeah, he will. Again, I'm not saying he's going to do 20 goals in a season. I'm not saying that. But you don't necessarily have to do 20 goals in a season to win the league. You don't have to. I mean, it helps, but you don't have to. There's plenty of clubs who share the goals around. It helps if you've got a Salah, a Haaland. But Arsenal haven't had a striker in the top 3, top 4, top 5 scorers. They don't play that style of play. I don't think United have to have a player that scores 20 goals a season in order to be successful, in order to finish in the top 6 or whatever, because that would be success for Manchester United right now, wouldn't it? I just think it's really, really easy to forget that the kid is 22 years old. He's 22 years old. And by the way, for what you're saying, you don't think Hoyland can score 20 goals in a season. He scored 16 for Manchester United in his first season at the club, didn't he? So I think he could. I think he's 21, 22. I think he could score 20 goals. He's basically scored it. I just think he's a confidence player. So many strikers are. And if I was one of the money men behind the scenes at Manchester United, I'd be saying there's got to be someone who can get a tune out of him. We signed a deal, we signed a contract for £80 million or whatever it was to get one of the best young players in Serie A. A player who's doing bits for Denmark, for the national team. A player who ticks a lot of the boxes. He's physical, he can hold the ball up. He's got a bit of pace. He's not rapid, but he's got a bit of pace. His movement isn't all that bad either, I've got to say. And I've seen him score goals for United this season where I've looked at it and gone, there's a finisher in there. He just doesn't do it often enough. And there's too many games where he's anonymous and drifts in and out of games. And I think he's a player suffering a crisis of confidence, and he's stuck in a team that doesn't really help him. That's what I think. I could be wrong, and maybe I am. I guess we'll see. But I think Hoyland is absolutely, yeah. I think, Luke, you're right. Hoyland is worth persevering with. What was Lewandowski doing at 20? If you ever think he'll reach Lever's level, you're unwell. I mean, he doesn't have to. Nobody's saying that he has to be the best striker in the world, just that he has to compete. And I think this version of Hoyland, if you think... Here's the question, right? Do you think this is Hoyland's level? Do you think this is as good as he's ever going to be? Because I don't. I think there's a player in there. I don't think he's necessarily world class, but there's a player. There's plenty of players who do bloom late as well. It takes a few years for them to kind of find the form and kick in. Maybe he's not quite settled at United. Who could blame him? Look at the club. He's had as many managers as I've had hot dinners, which is nearly as, not that bad. But he's had a lot of managers. He's had a lot of systems. He's had a work in. It's going to be difficult, I think, for anyone, a young player, to settle in a new country, new language, new system, new players he's working with, all that sort of thing, and he's taken in and out of the side, all that. So, Beanie, Hoyland shouldn't be the main striker is the issue. Yeah, that's another big point. That's another very valid point. He should never have been brought in to be United's starting centre-forward at 20 years old. It's madness. The guy needed some support. He needed a main centre-forward to be there in front of him so that he could build himself up and kind of edge himself into the team. The fact is, it's kind of because he's been thrown in at the deep end now that United fans have such little patience with him. I don't think United is anywhere close. Sorry, I don't think Hoyland is anywhere close to United's biggest problem. I'll say that. I think there's much, much bigger issues for them to tackle. I think the shirt's too heavy for Højlund personally. That's a good point. It's a good point. I mean, that was good. He's just done a bit of good play there. He's opened the ball, opened his body up. He's ran at the Newcastle defence. He's shown he, committed a few people and had a shot. It's got a corner. Got a corner for United. I know it's a bit late in the game, but he's the only one doing anything. He's the only one doing anything in this last few minutes. I mean, I kind of feel like he's at least applying himself. It's poor from Ericsson. It's poor. Yeah. Look, Højlund has bags of potential. I'd personally do a Chelsea and loan him out a few years. Maybe, yeah. Not a bad shout. Is Núñez better than Højlund? Yeah, Núñez is better than Højlund. But Núñez is about 3 years older as well. And Núñez had the time that when Núñez was Højlund's age, Núñez was playing regularly, starting regularly at Benfica and scoring regularly. And had the faith put in him and had a manager who said, nope, you are absolutely starting every single game. And he made loads of mistakes. He wasn't perfect. Sister Vista, hi mate, you enjoy your birthday? I did, mate, thank you. Yeah, I did. It was lovely. I appreciate it. Had a lovely time. Right, so this should be it now. Newcastle are going to launch it long, and there you go, that's full time. That's full time. Clock stopped. I know, it had stopped about 89th minute. Good to hear, mate. Not far off 30 now. I know if I keep going, we'll see. But yeah, Newcastle get the win, 4-1. Big win over Manchester United. That's a big performance from Newcastle and a big performance from Manchester United before the Lyon game. Joshua Zirkzee picking up an injury, not good. Onana being taken out of the firing line to be replaced by a Bayindir, who then concedes 4 goals, and the 4th will have brought tears to many Man United fans' eyes. It's rough. It's really rough, I think, for Manchester United going into the Lyon game. The last thing they needed was this sort of an approach. They need more consistency from a number of these players, don't they? And look, we've got a number of games still to come this week, Monday night. Make sure you follow me for tomorrow, by the way, if you've not already. Manchester United on Thursday night against Lyon, of course. Newcastle are next in action on Wednesday against Crystal Palace, but we won't be watching that because we'll be watching Arsenal against Real Madrid in the Champions League. Tuesday night before that is Aston Villa against PSG. I think we're all expecting PSG to go through, but you never know. Big goals and big games in the Champions League last week. Maybe we'll get some more this week. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be live again, by the way. I am going to be live again for Bournemouth against Fulham. 2 teams who are just on the cusp of those Champions League, maybe Europa League places, depending on how you look at it. But certainly on the cusp of Europe. If Fulham were to get a win, let me just go back and have a quick look at that table. Fulham get a win tomorrow, they are 4 points off a Champions League spot. And Fulham's fixture list between now and the end of the season, I mean, they beat Liverpool last week. Fulham have still got to play Southampton. They've got to play Everton at home. They've got to play Man City last day of the season at Craven Cottage. How big could that one be? That could be a Champions League decider. You never know. They also still have to go to Aston Villa, another team they're fighting with. They've got to go to Brentford. Fulham's fixture list looks very favourable. And if they play as they did against Liverpool last week, you never know. They really could have an outside chance of European football. So I guess we'll see. Luke, fans are singing his name, only Amorim. Amorim is the only safe one in fans' eyes. think that will just wane. I really do think that might wane as next season goes on. I think he'll be fine, obviously, for this summer. Lots of United fans really interested to see what Amorim does. You know, what do United need? I mean, we've talked about open heart surgery. That's what Ranić termed it. Manchester United need open heart surgery, but are they really going to be able to do it? Have they got the finances? Have they got the funds? You know, they're going to have to sell Rashford. They're going to have to sell Sancho. Are they going to be able to sell those players for the funds, you know, for the amount they want? Anthony the same. It's a big job, very big job, one that nobody really envies, I would imagine. But look, we'll be back tomorrow night for Bournemouth and Fulham. I'm going to end the live shortly. And, I will see you all tomorrow night if you're still here, if you want to come and join me. I agree, if it's the same in November, fans will turn, but I think he'll get better by then. I think it depends on the players he signs and what he's afforded as well, doesn't it? The budget is going to be... That's going to be interesting. How much do United spend? Apparently, the rumours are, this is what people are saying, it's going to be... It's going to be a £200 million war chest. That's what they think they can give Amorim this summer. Is that going to be enough? I don't know. There seems to be a lot of players leaving on frees. You know, your Lindelofs, your Ericssons, both played today. Couple of other players, they probably are surplus, who they've made known are surplus. Apparently Casemiro's one of them. Garnacho's another. Maybe Onana after today. There's rumours about Mainu. Did he cash in on Mainu? Kobbie Mainoo's got a big book value to Manchester United. It'd make me quite sad to see Kobbie Mainu leave United, but it might well be the case. It might be that he has to leave. Corin Palermo, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. But let me know what you're thinking, by the way. Let me know what you're thinking in the chat. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. I'm going to put videos out over the next couple of days, and I've got lives on tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so we're live through all of them. Give us a follow on YouTube as well if you haven't already, and I'll see you all tomorrow night. Have a nice Sunday, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you all tomorrow night.